Now here we are, in a map that is only exclusive to this mission, as far as I can recall. In a pilgrimage that only Kaiba and Pegasus shall take, we are going to encounter the ultimate, the unstoppable, the iconic, the franchise-defining, the millions of dollars worth of merchandise selling, invincible Lord of Dragons. Yes, we are getting all 3 Blue Eyes in this mission, because, hey, it's not Kaiba unless he rocks these fools. Now, you'll notice that there's a lot of individual lords here, and one of the stranger discrepancies is that Thunder Dragon fuses with Two-Headed King Rex for Twin Thunder Dragon in this game, which is 100% not how it's supposed to go, but I digress. One of the few liberties they had to take because they weren't going to have you collecting 2 separate Thunder Dragons, of all things. Alright, so we go off into this alcove here, and we're going to get one of our first... I'd say this might be the hardest roaming encounter in the game, to be honest with you. But that depends on when you get here and what your layout is. I believe somewhere around this path. There we go. It's if you're trying to beeline directly to this first base. So here we have Buster Blader and Cyber Soldier, which, it makes sense Buster Blader would be here as well. I mean, you'd think it would be a Yugi opponent, but hey, we got what we got. Alright, Cyber Commander, excuse me. So, he's decked out with red medicines, and on top of that, let me see. Yeah, all-out charge. Buster Blader is ridiculously OP against dragons, so if this is a casual playthrough and you feel like you're under-leveled, then there's nothing wrong with trying to get Buster Blader, immediately force-failing the mission, and then coming here with him on your team. He'll wreck just about any dragon that's in this mission. And we blinded him. Too bad that doesn't matter here. But if he already got his turn, then we actually have a decent chance of quick KOing him. I hope. Let's see. Dragon Zombie's no longer a dragon, so we don't really have that much to worry about. That was pretty high damage, I guess, but nothing atrocious. This might go short. I hope this KOs, but it might not. Okay, good. Actually, that was more than enough. Alright, we've got nothing to worry about here. Buster Blader's got strong attack points, sure, but unless you come in here with dragons, you've really got no issue. Short of him getting like a miracle chain of criticals, we're gonna be able to outmuscle this fool in a minute. Yeah, even then, with our monsters as strong as they are, we've got really nothing to worry about. His defense is actually pretty dang enormous, because we're bombarding this fool already, and he's still at about half health. But, like, let me see. Yeah, it's notably higher than most of the other monsters we've encountered up until this point, but again, he doesn't have enough skills to make that a serious issue. It's just kind of a war of attrition. And now that he's blinded, well, that's a war he's fighting on his own with, like, blindfolded at this point. There could have been a better expression there, I apologize. That's just kind of a... yeah. See, maybe I need to practice my quips again. Been getting kind of rusty lately. I'll tell y'all where I first got my apt ability for quips, if anything. So, many years ago, my one brother Kyle, his friends, they would constantly come over and just say, like, really funny stuff whenever they were playing games or whatever. And I remember it was the Christmas that Wii Sports Resort came out. His one friend was over, I believe we were doing the aerial game with where you would catch the balloons, and I forget exactly what the score was, but he was getting into like the low 50s. There was 20 seconds left. I said, man, you're probably not going to make it to 60. And he just immediately goes, that's what my doctor keeps telling me, which I thought was hilarious, and that probably shaped me quite a bit into the person I am today. Make of that what you will, you know? Alright, so Buster Blader and Cyber Commander are now here, and the only other thing we can get, as far as I'm aware, is it just the Blue Eyes? Is there anything else? No, actually, we can get quite a bit here, can't we? Yeah, we're gonna have to clear out these bases. So, I like the interesting titles they have here, where everything is just kind of a synonym for where they live. Why the strongest dragon is in the burrow, I don't quite know, because that sounds like the least threatening one, but hey, whatever. I'm not in charge of naming. Now, Kaiba I decked out with Sword of Dragon Soul and some silver bow and arrows, largely just because, well, that's going to make it so our attacks are more powerful and more accurate. We want to just quick blitz these fools and get them out of the way. So, I would say that, what's it? Ciaru right here is probably the biggest threat aside from the 3 blue eyes. The 3 blue eyes are only really an issue because they have polymerization, of course. So as long as we can survive that, we'll be okay. And I'm trying to think... Okay. Meteor Dragon's defense is a little higher, but health is so low it's not a big issue. Yeah, we can KO this fool like it's nothing. You know what? Even if they do fuse, what's really the problem, right? Never mind, we're good. Look at that. Astronomical threat just KO'd instantaneously, almost. In Kaiba's mind, I'm sure that quick KOing a Red Eye is just another part of the week. You know, that's weird. With how much of a dragon fetish Kaiba seems to have, it's kind of surprising he never actually tried to take the Red Eyes for himself. I know that when Joey first summoned it, when they were doing that little scuffle in Duelist Kingdom, Kaiba was mildly impressed, but that was more because of the rarity of the monster rather than anything else. So you just want to send Kaiba and Pegasus off in a pattern here to eliminate whatever they can effectively. We took very little damage in these fights. I mean, sure, Buster Blader got a few hits, but it's nothing I'm concerned with. We'll use a blue medicine, I guess, to be on the safe side. We're probably not going to need them, but hey, it's whatever. This fight, I'm not expecting any real trouble. Oh, I actually almost forgot. Yeah, Two-Headed King Rex has super stamina when it's at a high level. We're not bringing any machines, so this won't be an issue. Thunder Dragon's stats are so low, it's really just kind of a novelty. Really? You just guarded? We're about to win. You guys aren't even gonna fuse? That's disappointing. I think I can break this fool's guard. Stat lines are pretty low. Alright then. I think it's interesting how Thunder Dragon was like an idea of a deck thinning strategy that eventually became such an absurdly powerful archetype. Still not gonna do it. There we go. Yeah, we might as well see this. Because I'm probably not going to fuse into it anyway, so... Alright, so Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon has the Lucky ability. Can charge up attacks. So, we actually... I don't know, I'm not going to say we're in trouble here. There's a chance something can go wrong, but I think we'll be okay. Especially if we can inflict blindness. It's gotta be tough to clear doorways with a nose horn that large. I will say that I think Thunder Dragons share kind of a novelty for GOAT format, just because if you ever play that format and you open, like, Pot of Greed, Thunder Dragons, Graceful Charity, or your hand ends up becoming that, you've pretty much instantly won right then and there, because your opponent's not going to do anything to contest you at that point. Oh, and Delinquent Duo. I'll never understand who thought Delinquent Duo was a good card in testing. I get the idea, but it was very early, like, very early on, it made sense, you know? You pay a reasonable cost, and you sack something that may or may not be important. Fine in a casual environment, but as soon as they started understanding what a metagame was, absolutely no chance a card like that could ever exist. Alright, you get one more attack. Make it count. Furry Box? Yeah, not too powerful. Their power is spiked up quite a bit just because of the Buster Blader fight. So, I think that as time passes, they'll be... I'll just wait for Kaiba to get in the fight. Now, the unfortunate thing is we kind of got to crisscross around a little bit because just how fast Ansatsu is, we're going to quickly outpace everything they're doing. And I didn't really need to be here because we already have both these monsters. I guess... it's probably going to give us, like, a decent item or something. Let's see. I'm going to Gravity Bind them. If they are going to fuse, I may as well force it right now. Because, hey, you're not here to see me instantly plow through these fools like they're nothing. Let's actually give them a fighting chance. Although it doesn't look like they're taking that chance. And that should be it. Perfect. Kind of surprised it wasn't more damage considering how poor Sunstill's defense is. Okay, level 35. Moisture creature gains its second natural attack slot. It only had one attack slot this entire time. Everything else was done by Deal of Phantom. That's the only way it had more than a single attack per fight. That is pathetic, frankly speaking. And the sad thing is, it only gains one more before level 99. Yes, it has a maximum attack use of 3. 3 attacks. Okay, I want to know who in testing really thought that was a good idea. Like, sure, Deal of Phantom is pretty strong. Nature Power is pretty strong. So you can supplement this, but why 3 attacks at max level? I don't know. The game makes a lot of questionable decisions, and the thing is, Power of Nature isn't even a 100% get-out-of-jail-free card, because if your opponent's running Spirits, which, frankly, none of these fools are, but whatever, then you can't reliably use it. It's just too unsafe. Also, this is a pretty poor team up here. What the heck is going on? I don't think Kaiba's got any real threats against this. Let's see. No real abilities. Bunch of red medicines. Okay, sure, it's still a 3v1, my guy. This monster is known for having a great stat line. I believe it was some type of... I think it was a promo card. Something like that. It was insanely rare back in the day. I don't know. I'm blanking too much on the specifics. But I don't really need to know because it's already finished. Don't worry, I will use it on the team at least a little bit just because I mean, come on, this is the only time we're gonna see it otherwise. But you see how these items just completely obliterate dragons? Like, I think I said in a previous chapter, I might not have, but there is a Falsebound Kingdom Discord group that I was part of after seeing some other people do randomizer runs of this game, and they pretty much all mutually agree that dragons are almost definitely the worst of the 7 monster types in this game, because not only do they not have access to that many huge abilities, but there's so many abilities in the game that completely neuter them and just make them chumps. They're sitting ducks, and they just get plowed through instantaneously. The only thing that might be close to them... Okay, their biggest strength is the fusions. As you're seeing right here, there's a lot of monsters they can fuse with. That's nothing to sneeze at, but again, it still supplements, or it still has a lot of weaknesses that you have to accommodate for. So having a fully stacked team, I guess in the campaign isn't that bad, because there's really not that many monsters in the campaign that are specifically made to obliterate dragons, but the few that are, it's noticeable. Like, if you came in here and fought the Buster Blader with a dragon team, you would have gotten railroaded in a hurry. The only other monster type that might be about as bad is maybe beasts. Beasts are kind of buffed by the combination attacks they have. The Harpy Ladies in general, counting as beasts, elevates them into a different league almost. Machines also aren't great per se, but I mean, they're not useless. It's like, Spirits, Spellcasters, and Darks are just... No, Spirits and Spellcasters really are the hugest league. Darks are a little behind, but they're still pretty damn strong. Warriors, they're not amazing, but they... With the sheer number of equipped magic they have, it just... They can blow through almost any defensive line like it's nothing. It's not really the safest option, but it's the glass cannon option. And hey, if you're playing Kaiba, you're playing a glass cannon. Actually, that's not fair to say. He's had a few strategies that involve him getting hit and then immediately doing a stylish counterattack. Guess that's the whole point of the Crush Card virus anyway. Oh yeah, imagine what that would have been like in this game. I guess there is magic that's sort of meant to be kind of like it, but not nearly to the same effectiveness. Yeah, this team really didn't need to exist, did it? Like, nothing's happening. I guess the only real connection is Kaiba used Judge Man in his first duel with Yugi, so that's why they're here, maybe? I don't know. And then he used it, like, once in Season 4, I think. It's a cool-looking monster, I'm not going to lie. You know, it's not entirely fair to say it was his first duel against Yugi, because, like, I know that there's Season 0, where it was really just a Magic the Gathering style game. In the original manga, it had nothing to do with the normal monsters. And then technically there was that episode of the Season 0 anime where Yugi dueled Hobson. So, it just, I don't know. That episode was kind of weird. I wasn't sure what they were really trying to adapt with that. I guess one of his early battles against Mokuba or something? I don't know. And sorry if y'all heard that phone in the background. Yeah, I'm turning my mic down a bit just so you can't really hear too much of the background noise. But I'm not especially worried about that just because of everything going on right now. This mission is almost over anyway. The blue eyes are going to look a little imposing, but we don't really have anything to worry about at this point. Only having a polymerization on each of them, to be quite honest, is an abysmal strategy, because as soon as one of them topples over, we've got nothing to worry about. That's how it was during the face-off mission, too. My strategy at this point is just try and whittle them down as quickly as possible, focusing my attacks on one in particular, because then I can either force them to immediately fuse, or I can get the one out of the way and I won't have much to worry about. If the third one attacks, then I know I've got it beat. Okay, them focusing all three of their attacks on Panther Warrior is mildly concerning, not going to lie, but if this connects, perfect. Alright, good. We got nothing to worry about from here. Just whittle them down and heal, and just like that, everything crumbles. See, this is the glass cannon strategy, because as soon as one of them falls, you got nothing left. I mean, sure, in a regular playthrough, that's why you bring Monster Reborns, but since we can't really do that, one of them falls, there's really no point in running the other two. Now, sure, they've got a huge stat line, and obviously it's like, to this day, it's the highest stat on any normal monster in the actual card game. But does that really compare to Mission 6, where you get Summon Skull, or like Mission 7 of Kaiba's campaign, where you get Moisture Creature, who does have an astronomical stat value as well? Sure, they're not as high, but think about all the things they can do, all the things they have access to. No, it doesn't compare. I'm sorry to say, but they just can't keep up in this context. At level 99, sure, maybe it matters, but in the context of a fresh save file, no chance. I'm just gonna have Panther Warrior guard, because I don't want to risk a critical ruining things. We pretty much got this beat already. Yeah, the more attacks on Satsu gets, the faster this will be over. We can finish this fool in like 2 more hits. Okay, maybe 3. Their health value is pretty high, at least, I will say that much. And we should be in the clear. You're attacking Panther Warrior. It's gonna be... Alright, good. If that was a critical, that actually would have finished Panther Warrior. That would have been pretty bad. But we are fine. We are now in possession of the 3 legendary Blue Eyes White Dragons, once and for all.